Okay, so just a heads up for everybody in the Montgomery area. Last night I was stopped by an officer in a black Charger police car with blue lights in the grill. So, I stopped. Afterwards, once he walked into the car, I asked, why I was being stopped. He said that it was because I didn't use my turn signal, which I knew was unfactual for the simple fact that whenever I saw his blue lights, I automatically turned my turn signal on to let him know that I was turning, coming up so I could, get on the back roads to go home. Well, all of a sudden, he turns behind me. So I'm like, oh crap, alright, what did I do? So I stop, and he comes up to the car, I asked him what it was. Like I said, he said turn signal. I was like, okay, well I know for a fact that that's not true. And then he goes on to ask me, okay, what's a pretty girl like yourself doing over on this side of town? Well, of course, I was on, coming off a Federal Drive, that I just came off Fairground. I wasn't sure where he saw me coming from, because I was over in the Highland Gardens area, which is, a little, I don't know, it's where I grew up, but it's, the north side, I guess. So anyways, I, went to tell him that, I came home at midnight. My husband realized that I'd left the wipes over at my friend's house that I'd been over at all day, and I came back over there to get them, and he seemed like he didn't believe me. So I was like, okay. And he got my ID and my insurance card, and I notified him that I was in my stepmother-in-law's car, and that, so he would know that, my license isn't going to match up to it. Well, he goes back to the car, he comes back, he hands me my license and the insurance card, and I assume that, it's all good. So, after him continuously acting like, he still had more questions but wasn't asking any extra questions, was just kind of stalling, I realized that his lights were no longer on. Neither his blue siren lights, which, by the way, had no siren whatsoever to let me know that he was pulling me over, it was just the blue lights, and the fact that his headlights had been turned off as well. So, I've always been under the impression that if the lights are on, you're being recorded. And if not, then, it's off. And I, just immediately said, I feel uncomfortable with the fact, I'm pretty sure it's illegal that you have your lights off and you're not recording me. He just looks at me and tells me that it is not illegal. And I was like, well, I feel very uncomfortable with the fact that I feel like I'm not being recorded right now. And after this goes on for a few minutes and everything, and he continues to act like he doesn't, believe me, continues to stall, continues to, not reassure me that I'm, 100% safe, even though I've completely and 100% let him know that I don't feel safe. He goes on to just continuously sit there. So finally, I looked at him, and I told him, are you giving me a ticket? He said no. And then just stood there. And then I said, okay, do you have any other concerns as to why I'm out this late, or any other concerns as to why I'm still here? Because I'm assuming my license and stuff came back because you're not searching my car, you have not arrested me, and you've not given me a ticket for anything. So I'm assuming that I'm free to go. And I told him that, unless he had any objections to the matter, that I was going to leave, because I did not feel comfortable with this situation. And note that this is after I've already talked to my husband 10 to 15 minutes prior to me being stopped by the cop, and told him that I was on my way home. So he knows that I'm about no more than 10 minutes away. So he goes to call, and I ask if I can, answer it, just to let him know that, I just got pulled over by a cop, I'm where I'm at, so he's not freaking out. And I was denied the request, which I was denied before whenever I was younger, underage and everything, to call my mother to, you know, come and help me out in the situation to figure out what I need to do. So I, of course, continued on, you know, and told him I did not feel comfortable whatsoever. I was like, I'm going to leave. And if you have no objections to it, then have a good night. And whenever I put my car to drive and went to go and drive off, he didn't say anything to me about leaving. He did not even start to walk back to his car until I was already away from him. And as far as I know, I don't know which way he went, because as soon as I realized that he wasn't following me and I wasn't getting in trouble for leaving, I called my husband and told him what was going on. And afterwards, I started feeling a little odd about it. So I decided that I was going to call the Montgomery Police Department. And a lady answered, and we talked for a little bit, and she realized that there was no dispatch. There was nothing ran on my license. There was nothing, there was no, you know, nothing saying that there was any type of traffic stop where I was at the time that it was anywhere near. And it did not have one piece of evidence of it. And after I told them that he just let me leave, after I told him that I didn't feel comfortable and that I was going to leave unless he had any objections to it or there was another reason that he had stopped me, and he didn't say anything, and I left, and he did not one thing about it. She got off the phone with me, asked me my address and everything, asked if I was okay to talk to a couple of officers, and as soon as I did, as soon as I got off the phone with her, 3 cops showed up at the house within a minute of me getting off the phone with this lady. And pretty much, basically, it was a complete and total imposter of a police officer. Because whenever I walked down there and I saw the cops, I knew exactly that the outfit that the man had on was nowhere near what an actual a Montgomery police officer would be wearing. And definitely the fact that he had the MCPD, which I assume to be Montgomery County Police Department, on his uniform, and a white plastic-looking name tag on him, and no badge, no, you know, little star badge or whatever. And I found out that Montgomery County is the sheriff's department, which I should have known, but I didn't. And so yeah, just so everyone is out there and being aware of the fact, if you are being stopped by a cop car, or what you assume to be a cop car because it has blue lights in the grill, and it seems even the least bit odd that they don't come up and, you know, introduce themselves of who they are, they don't, you know, give you a plausible reason as to why they stopped you. They talk to you like, you know, a normal police officer or law enforcement agent wouldn't. Please call 911. I don't care if they object to you being on the phone or not. Call 911 and make sure that there was a cop that has made a routine traffic stop and has let dispatch know, because I was lucky of the fact that I looked at this man and told him straight up that I didn't feel comfortable and told him that I was going to leave. And I just can't even imagine what could have happened if I wouldn't have started to object to the fact of him continuing on with this. So, yeah. I just wanted to give everyone a warning of it. Like I said, it's in Montgomery, Alabama. Y'all ladies, just be careful out there. Especially if y'all are out there by yourself. Keep your phone on you. And as soon as you start getting pulled over, call your husband, your wife, I don't care, mom, whoever it is. Let them know where you're being stopped at, what's happening, and then call 911 and make sure that it is a police officer. Alright, that's it. I just want to let y'all know.